All right, Horns at half past, though. Texas the bottom of every hour. And here we go. Busy day on the 40 acres yesterday, Jack. We had a jam-packed day. It included a full burnt orange tower lighting last night. Were you able to see that? I mean, you were out at Nelson Field, so probably not.
It was still lit this morning.
Was it? Okay, when you were coming. I didn't even look. I drove right through. I didn't have normal. Well, because I'm trying to pay attention to the traffic. Because when you're coming through campus, they got construction on the lower deck every morning. And when I'm coming through at 4 o'clock, and it gets pretty treacherous, like which lanes are open and where's the construction going to be. So I didn't have a head on a swivel, and I didn't go upper deck. I went lower deck today. If I'd got upper deck, I would have seen it. But the full burnt orange tower was lit on campus to celebrate the Texas men's swimming and diving team's latest national championship. That would have been a good picture, Jack, because I think it was a full moon last night, wasn't it? Or dang near. If you get it from the right angle, you get the full moon and the burnt orange. I'm sure there's some photos that are going to pop up out there from that. So that was pretty cool. And congrats to men's swimming and diving, back-to-back national championships now. Also yesterday, the Texas women, the Hoopers, got back last night from Fort Worth after demolishing Michigan to get to the Final Four. They had a short night's sleep, and then they gathered at UT campus yesterday right by the Moody Center for a rousing send-off. There were a lot of fans out there sending them off on the buses to the airport, and then they flew to Phoenix. Where they're already going to begin prep. This is a pretty quick turnaround to play Monday night, Jack, and they'll play Friday night. Again, teams that played Monday, South Carolina winning, Texas winning, they'll play Friday. That's when the women's Final Four is. They've moved it up to get it. It used to be they'd play Saturday or Sunday, Tuesday, right, for the national championship on the women's side. Now it's Friday, Sunday. They want that thing over by Sunday evening and, the national champion crowned. So that's how it's going to go this weekend for Texas. They'll play the late game Friday against UCLA. Meanwhile, the early game that night will be the absolute heavyweight. They're both going to be heavyweight matchups. They're all one seeds. But USC and UConn will battle it out in the other national semi. The winners will meet on Sunday. But here's the good news, Jack. Did you see Chris Del Conte's social media page yesterday? He did post it. Mm-hmm. Vic Schaefer got him a turkey. Vic Schaefer got himself a turkey.
Nice and early. Got out there.
He said after the game on Saturday, or on, what was it, Monday night, I'm going to go get me a turkey. That's going to happen, and he got him a turkey. So at least, Chris Del Conte had the photo evidence of it. But, yesterday on the show, one of the things that also happened is we had a chance in the 8 o'clock hour, 8:30, to talk to Chris Plonsky here on Game Time. She is the longtime Texas administrator, chief of all things Longhorns, I call her. She's been there since 1982. She saw that national championship run 40 years ago up close with Jody Conrad, and now she's watching Vic Schaefer. And I asked Chris Plonsky yesterday, what makes Vic Schaefer special? Why was he the right hire when Texas hired him 6 years ago? And why is he, earned such respect within the athletic department at Texas?
But Vic has earned the position where he is, but he applies everything he is and everything he's learned along the way, including being the son of a military guy. He's a true family man. You see how he embraces his own family, let alone the young ladies who play for him. And we have a lot of, coaches who do that with all their teams at Texas. But Vic, again, is a detail guy. He works so hard, and he pours himself into his players. And as I think Rory, Natty, and Jordan and many others have responded, they said, he pours so much into us, we're going to pour it back. And to be up 40 at one point in a regional final, you just shake your head and say, maybe this is the year of destiny.
Yeah. All right, so there you go. Maybe. And she was a part of it in 86 behind the scenes with Jody Conrad and that team that went 34-0, beat USC and won the national championship. Now it's UCLA and potentially UConn or South Carolina for the fourth time. If they have to play South Carolina on Sunday, Jack, that's the fourth matchup.
That's crazy.
And Texas is 2-1 already.
Yeah, that's not supposed to happen.
I know. Well, they played in that early season tournament.
Yeah.
Then they played twice in the regular season. No, they played in the regular season.
Once in the regular season.
And then they played in the SEC tournament where Texas beat them by 18 in the championship game. And then they would play again Sunday. But Texas doesn't fear them. I know that.
I bet that's the first time in college basketball history somebody has played a team potentially 4 times and none of them were at home.
You're right about that. None at the Moody Center. Interesting point. We talked about that in college football with the 12-team playoff, that there was chances Texas could play a Georgia 3 times in a season, regular season SEC title game and in the big tournament.
Texas could have seen Jeremiah Smith like 6 times, but it won't happen that way.
So there's Chris Plonsky. You go hear that whole interview. It's really good. Chris was so great. Yesterday, I got a lot of people that made comment on that yesterday that was enjoyable because Chris knows. She knows everything about the University of Texas Athletic Department. She's been there since 1982. Go find the podcast. We podcast every hour of every show. That was yesterday's hour 3 of our 5-hour extravaganza. Also last night, the Texas baseball team rallied. They improved to 24-4. Hard-fought win over Texas State Bobcats. 10-8 final. Texas fell behind 3-0 early. Had to rally back. And the bullpen held up again at the back end to let Texas rally and get the win. Ethan Mendoza had a big game. Texas gets the win. The wind was howling out of the south last night, and that was giving the outfielders some trouble. But 10-8 final. Texas slams the door and gets the win. And here's Jim Schlossnagle after this game. It wasn't their best performance, but a win is a win, and they needed one in the midweek to break that 2-game Tuesday skid.
We didn't play awesome. I thought we competed pretty well. When they brought their better pitchers in the game, those are the guys we hit. That's a good team, and they got some guys getting some guys back healthy. Ferris getting him back healthy. It's a really good lineup to have to pitch to. But yeah, I was proud that we got down and came right back, and we got to use some guys. Bing particularly did a nice job. Walls did a nice job. I was trying to avoid using Crossland tonight. I was willing to use one of the two, but was hoping not to use both. But I think certainly Sam was super efficient. So we'll be fine there. Having 2 days off from Saturday helps us, but you got Ruger going on Thursday, so we'll be okay.
We'll be okay, and meaning they had to use both Brett Crossland and Sam Cozart last night. Cozart was very efficient, as you just heard the coach say, but those are both freshmen, but they're emerging as 2 of your top arms out of the bullpen for the weekend. But this is a different weekend. We said yesterday, Jack, that Texas State, I'm going to say this clearly, might be, but I think is the best team they're going to play this week. Texas State is ranked number 22 in the RPI. Texas State came in red hot for Steve Trout.
Right.
And USC, South Carolina, is not good. They've already fired Paul Maneri this year, their manager. They're off to a 1-8 start in the SEC. So I'm not saying you go into Columbia, South Carolina this weekend for a Thursday again through Saturday series and take it lightly, but Texas State's the best team you're going to play this week.
Yeah, I mean,
and so you went to your bigger, more leverage arms, but you may be able to use some other guys this weekend on the road in Columbia.
Yeah, I think that, well, let's just say Texas State is a team that could very well make the tournament, and I don't think South Carolina is. How bad is South Carolina?
South Carolina's not making the tournament.
I didn't want to say it outright. How bad is South Carolina? Well, they're as bad as Missouri, and that's a low bar.
Well, they're 1-8, but they've taken some tough losses. They don't have much of a pitching staff. And Texas, I mean, the 10 more runs last night, another double-digit game. Casey Borba and Aiden Robbins, both hit their 10th home runs. Ethan Mendoza hit one into the Eddie yard. He hits his another one. He's back to swinging a hot bat at the top of the order, and that was a good thing to see. Top of the order was great last night. But yes, because Texas State's a really good team. That's a really good lineup. I've seen them live myself down in San Marcos a few times. They can really hit the ball.
Yeah, that's not bad for the old RPI.
Yeah, well, and Texas State was trying to get that dub because that would be even because when they get to the end of the year, they want to be in a tournament. They want to be at a 2 seed potentially somewhere for Steve Trout. And they have 10 more wins than they have losses right now. That's a good ball club. So get that Tuesday win. Break that Tuesday little streak you're on, and now they'll, like the women on the basketball side, quick turnaround. They're going to be headed to Columbia to open up their series tomorrow night at South Carolina.
That's right. And we mentioned coming into the season, I mean, we knew the portal class was going to be nasty, and we knew this freshman class was going to be nasty. I think college baseball is all about, and the College World Series is all about relievers who are psychos. Brett Crossland is a psycho.
Yeah.
Number 88 on the mound for Texas. 6'5", 250 freshman, number 88. That dude talks to himself when he walks off the mound.
I kind of like that for a pitcher.
No, he's nuts.
I'm looking for that.
He's great. And he's
down.
going to be really good. We're talking about guys that fit that closer role for Texas moving forward. Might not be this season. I know he's a freshman. Dylan Valances did it as a freshman last year, but Brett Crossland is a name that is going to pitch a lot of innings for Texas this year and into the future. That dude's an animal.
Well, and Sam Cozart may end up being the closer. That
He's
might
the
be
stoic mountain man freshman, and then Brett Crossland's the I mean, that dude, he's got like Corn and Limp Bizkit playing in his head. I know it when he walks off the mound.
Probably so. Thomas Burns got an inning in, but he gave up a run. They're trying to get him right. Cade Bing, as he mentioned. Cade Bing, kid out of Waco, was real good. He had 3 innings. Max Grubbs did not have good stuff last night. He gave up the 3 runs early. Only 1 was earned, though, because they misplayed some balls in the outfield for him. But Max Grubbs got the start. Then Cade Bing was really the key to bridge it to Thomas Burns. But yes, the back end had to have Brett Crosland for an inning and 2/3, and then 1 for Sam Cozart. But Cozart, what did he throw, 8 pitches? With 3 pitches, so he'll be good into the weekend against South Carolina. But good stuff. The psycho, and you're saying that in a good way, because that's the ice water you want in your relievers. Mm-hmm. They go to the mound and they're listening to Limp Bizkit in their head, and they just Crazy. Fire darts.
Yeah, it's like when you say a pitcher's stuff is gross. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
You want a gross curveball.
Yeah, and you're right. Brett Crosland is a freshman from out in Phoenix, Arizona, but then you got this other kid, Sam Cozart, who's from North Carolina. But you're right, Crosland's 6'5" and 255. Cozart is 6'6" and 260. Yeah. These guys could be on the football team or the basketball team or something, yet they're your power arm relievers who are
large,
bringing good stuff.